What were you asking me, Emma?
Oh, if you're going to ask me what I did this morning.
What did you do this morning?
Well, this morning I ate an avocado with salsa in it, and I ate it with a spoon, and it was pretty good.
Wow, interesting. That sounds a lot like what my wife Lauren just told me.
Yeah.
That she had. Did you have the same for breakfast, or was that yesterday?
Well, I also had it
yesterday.
Folks, welcome to Working Crass Podcast. This is Lauren.
Hi.
And I'm Joshua. It's another week of a fun, crass time over here at Working Crass Podcast. I have a little bit of a plan for this episode. And my idea is, because it's a new year, because it's 2024, there's a lot of stories that we'll send to ourselves to do for the episodes, a lot of stories that we can react to. So I thought there's a lot that we skip too. Like, we have a huge long list, and there's a lot that we go, no, that's boring, or that's too offensive, or we don't want to do that one because we don't really have a take on it. Those are wise decisions that we make. But today I want to make a really unwise decision, and that is to take all of those things throughout 2023 that we skipped over and try to do a speed run of all of them in this episode. So we're going to go to all of those stories. And here's the better part of this one, this episode. That is that for a task like this, we can't do it with just one Lauren. It would be impossible.
I'd never get through it all.
We wouldn't get through it.
Me
all.
neither.
So that's why on today's episode, as you might have noticed, we actually have two Laurens.
We cloned me.
We cloned Lauren into a second Lauren, who slightly resembles my sister Emma. Only a little bit, though.
But
she mostly resembles Lauren.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Lauren.
I would say,
Opa!
yeah. She's got it down.
Wow, she is Greek. Damn.
She's half Greek, half Jewish.
She did take a shot of ouzo before the episode.
Yeah. And I said, Opa!
Seems like this might be... Have you been... what are some of your other favorite things to do, Lauren?
Oh, well, I love reading books. I mean, I can read about 10 books in one day. Yeah, I break records reading books. So.
That is very true. That is true of Lauren and Lauren number 2 as well.
Yeah.
I feel bad for the people who can't afford this cloning technology. I mean, you poor bitches don't even know what it's like to have a clone.
I know, and they
It's
never
sad.
will.
It's sad. It really is sad. It's really disappointing.
Get your lives together, people, so
yeah.
you can have clones.
Shame on you freaks who can't clone your family members.
Family member.
I mean, wife. A wife is still a family member.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have. It's gonna take me some getting used to have two Laurens here, but we'll see where this goes. Now, I guess taking a look here, what we're gonna start with, we're just gonna take my big master list, and we're gonna kind of go through whatever we can find. So, Lauren, either of you, stop me if this is one that we've read before at some point. If I click on one, you're like, oh, we've actually read that one. Maybe I'm mistaken.
Okay, I'll try. But half the time I can't remember what we've done and what we haven't done.
Yeah, I have a bad memory sometimes, so.
Now, do you have like a semi? Can you both have like a bad memory in different areas, so that way at least one of you will remember something?
That's asking for a lot.
At some point in this, you're going to be like, I'm itchy. I don't feel so good. You're going to really turn into Lauren.
I am a little itchy.
I think I need to go to a doctor.
I don't feel so good.
My tummy hurts.
Oh no, hives everywhere.
Folks, we got two Laurens and we're ready to go. Our first story that we skipped over in 2023 is from Reddit r Off My Chest, and it says, I got dumped for snoring too loud. I don't even know. My girlfriend of 5 years recently had a mental breakdown, and they linked it to sleep deprivation. She blames me for snoring and not finding any other way to fix it. I'm feeling like I'm the first guy who's been dumped because his snoring gave his girlfriend a mental breakdown. I was thinking of asking her to marry me this Valentine's Day, and now I'm alone and single. I don't even know what to tell my family on this one. Damn.
Well, what's worse is when your husband wakes up screaming in the middle of the night.
Oh, Lauren, you are speaking right to my heart.
I don't know what either of you are talking about. I have no idea what that means. I've never woken up in the middle of the night going, ah! 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 That's never happened.
That happened.
That definitely happened.
Just because a Christmas tree fell over. Okay, it scared me. I was afraid. I thought that there was a Christmas tree in the room. He was going to stab me. I thought there was a Christmas tree-shaped man who was jingling his way over to me.
I had to wake up and tap Josh and say, "You're okay. It's okay. It's going to be okay."
And my sister texted me from the other room going, "Are you okay?"
I've never met her.
I said, shh, 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 shh. Your screaming is making me itchy.
Now, speaking of snoring, I think we do have a good story to talk about snoring. Whenever we went to Emma's graduation, which we can sometimes drop the bit and come back to it if we want.
What bit?
All right, Lauren, calm down.
Well, Emma won't mind us talking about her graduation in her absence.
Wherever she is, I'm sure she wouldn't really mind.
Exactly.
Do you remember when we went to Emma's graduation? And
Yes.
Ah, yes, indubitably.
I do remember that.
I read a book about it once.
In fact, I'm writing a book about it.
And our brother and his wife came over, and I think they also brought a inflatable mattress to sleep on, and they kept moving it away, like as far away from us as possible, because and Nate was going, well, Emma and Josh, they snore, so, and I know they snore, so we got to get sleep away from them. We don't want them waking us up all night. You remember this, Lauren?
I remember.
I do remember. Very well.
And then they go to sleep. We didn't snore at all. We stayed there the night before and had a peaceful sleep. Nobody snored.
I do
And then they
remember-
came in and they went like
It was horrid.
it was so loud. It was wild. I've never been accused of something and then had the same thing happen.
Yeah, it did feel like sleeping through the stampede scene in Jumanji.
Yeah, me, Josh, and Emma, we were all just having a peaceful sleep the nights before. And then Nate and Brittany come in, and it's just, we
Thunderous.
couldn't sleep. And they thought we were going to be the ones snoring.
I know.
I
That's
do-
exactly what I just said.
I do
That's the whole
I
story.
just wanted to
told.
reiterate that it was
look.
me, Josh, and Emma.
Lawrence.
That I'm not Emma. That's what I wanted to clarify.
Yeah, Lauren's like to reiterate,
Yeah.
but I do remember your brother also right before we were all gonna go to sleep, going, "Now none of you better snore."
And he goes, "Nobody snore." Immediately.
Fucking ridiculous.
Look, I'm
Now,
sorry.
would you
this-
ever? I'm sorry.
I'm
What?
s- I'm sorry this dude got dumped for snoring, but maybe he should have got one of those masks. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, like a sleep apnea mask.
Yeah.
Would you ever dump a person over snoring? Is this something that would be a deal breaker for either of you?
I don't know. For me, it'd be somebody screaming in their sleep at 1 a.m. I don't know. Joe and April do it, and they both snore
Yeah.
horribly. So, and they're still together. I don't know how.
Yeah.
No, the snore. As long as I can wake them up gently and go flip over.
Yeah, that's what you do usually. Josh, flip over.
I
And
do
I'm
do
like
that.
a fucking. I'm like a manatee and go.
Yeah, as long as they allow me to do that, then that's fine.
Well, okay, that's our speed run of our first rejected story of 2023.
He deserved to get dumped.
He deserved to get dumped. Is that our consensus?
Yeah.
Deserved it.
Fuck that
Dirty
guy.
snorer.
Dirty snore. I bet he can't even afford a clone.
Yep. If he could have cloned himself, he could have made a clone that doesn't snore, and that would have solved his problem.
That would have been smart.
That would have been smart, but unfortunately,
He's not smart.
He not smart.
He's very dumb.
He dumb. Our next story here. Manipulation can be good for your relationships as long as you do this too. If only we could always get what we want by just asking. So this is from Your Tango. And I think, Lauren, you sent me this originally.
Yeah, I probably did. Well,
Manipulation is good for our relationship.
Manipulation is bad, right?
Right? The way they write these is always awful.
I know. That's why I send them to you.
I know. Manipulation is like a bad thing, right?
Manipulation is kind of cool when you think about it. You know?
Right?
Oh, you don't agree? Bet. That's cool. It's just like stupid. Although most of us do not think of ourselves as being manipulative, we know that there are times when someone else is trying to or has succeeded in manipulating us. Manipulation has a bad reputation. And
Solid rhyme.
Yeah. Manipulation has a bad reputation. And we all know manipulation is bad. Right?
Like, right?
Right? In interpersonal relationships, manipulation is defined as one person acting in their own self-interest at the expense of another person's interest. I don't think that's manipulate. I think that's just a relationship. That's just like how you should be in a relationship, right?
Manipulative?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, just one person acting in their own self-interest at the expense of another person's interest.
Yeah, draining their life force from their body
That's just
at all
being
times.
That's just being married.
Yeah.
That's just what Josh and I do.
In interpersonal relationships, manipulation, blah, 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 blah. But what if there's no expense? Why can't manipulation result in a win-win? It can if it's done with the right mindset and with a light and loving touch. So this just sounds like somebody's girlfriend who is making themselves feel better about the fact that they manipulate.
This is a cope.
Yeah.
Can they get to the point? Are they going to talk about something specific or just be super broad and say,
We'll
No,
see.
this is Your Tango. They never make a point.
Human beings persistently try to influence other human beings. So it's totally normal for me to manipulate my husband.
I'm just going to say this article is manipulation.
Yeah, no, it is.
This is trying to gaslight
This is all a
everybody
gaslighting article.
into thinking manipulation is good.
yeah, this article is just manipulation.
It really is. Okay. Wait a minute. I feel like I'm hearing double. I need you both to divide your duties, okay? If we're going to bring two Laurens onto the episode, we need you both to bring two different things to the table.
Joining forces, Mega Lauren powers.
Jesus. I should have never cloned her. This is going to go awfully.
We're even laughing in sync.
You're like copying everything she does.
She's a good clone.
What a good clone.
Good clone.
Good clone. You want a treat?
Working Crass, Clone Wars. No, this really is like human beings persistently try to influence other human beings. So that's why it's totally okay for me to convince my husband that I can sleep with whoever I want and he needs to stay in the house. He needs to go live in a hole.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Human beings persistently try to influence other human beings. That's why it's totally okay for me to manipulate my husband into buying me things. We value sincerity, truthfulness, generosity, and advocacy in our relationships. We want our children to do as they are told, and we want our friends and intimate partners to behave and relate as we think is proper. Our common thinking is that since manipulation is not direct, its intention can be hidden, kind of a subterfuge, and therefore not appropriate in relationships we value. Still, so far, hasn't said anything.
I like that they're like, I think that everybody should behave in the way that I want them to.
We're all guilty of manipulation. Everyone does it. So it's not wrong when I do it.
Yeah, everyone's doing it, Mom. Everyone's doing it.
We're all guilty of getting out of our car on I-95 and beating down a Mexican man who's selling fruit on the side of the road. We're all guilty of it. We're human beings. We all do it. So when I do it, I don't understand why it's such a problem.
Yeah, we all like to get bare naked and rub our asses all over the couch and shit in the living room floor. It's just what we do. It's not wrong.
Look,
If
a
it fe-
lot of people want to go on January 6th and participate in the insurrection and storm the Capitol. Why is it a problem if I'm one of those people?
Yeah, everyone's doing it.
Everyone's doing it.
Everyone's doing it. Surely it can't be wrong.
So what?
Do you think this writer would allow a snorer in their bedroom?
No.
Yeah, no, not at all.
They
It would be out of the house.
They would manipulate them into leaving.
Yeah, no, absolutely. If you snore one more time, I'm going to send your parents that embarrassing photo of you from that Christmas party.
No, they would just
It's like SpongeBob.
blackmail.
Yeah. Isn't there a SpongeBob where it's like, everyone's going to show the picture of you, the embarrassing picture from the Christmas party. It's so stupid.
No,
Anyway.
they'd probably just start like snoring even louder, or they'd have like a machine where they've programmed a bunch of fake snores and they'd out snore the snorer.
That's what a manipulator
And then
does.
he'd be like, I
Mhm.
can't live here anymore.
I can't read all of this.
You
This is
read my
so
mind.
long. This is
You read
so
my
damn long.
mind. You were
It's almost like I'm your clone.
I know. It's so good.
I cannot read all of this article. This is
you
literally,
shouldn't.
it doesn't say anything. It just goes around in circles.
Hmm.
I don't know, Barbara. I think you just
Wait, let's see. Teamwork is critical. Take my client Barbara as an example. She
Yeah, no,
consulted with
teamwork,
me.
teamwork is critical for manipulation. It's good to gang up on people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, you always
that.
need a friend to team up on your significant other.
Yeah,
You
when
need backup.
when you're doing psychological torture on somebody, you want a full team.
You got to have a good cop and a bad cop.
Yeah.
Take my client Barbara as an example. She consulted with me because of her frustration with her two close-in age. I'm sorry, I'm an idiot.
Two clones?
Yeah,
Or two clones in age?
No way.
Because of her frustration with her two close in age teenage children who were always bickering with each other when she came home from work. She was pretty sure that they only started their bickering when they heard her pull up. I made several suggestions about interventions and standard respectful interventions. None of them had any effect on the children's arguing. So one day in frustration, I said, I don't know, Barbara. I think you just have to try something completely different.
And then I kidnapped her and took her into my garage where I had a team of people, and we strapped Barbara down and we waterboarded her for 5 hours.
Better than that. Listen to this. A week later, she reported that after she came home from work and heard the children arguing as usual, she did something completely different, all right. Rather than say anything to them at all, she went into her bedroom and took off all of her clothes and stripped down to her underwear. She came into the living dining room area, climbed up on the dining room table, bent over, and yelled at her children between her legs. The bickering stopped and never recurred.
Is that
What the hell?
Is that manipulation or just like a schizophrenic episode?
I love that this person who wrote this is also like, and I'm this person's therapist, and I think I did a pretty good job with this one.
Oh my god.
That ended in my client taking off all of her clothes in front of her children, then bending over in front of them and shouting at them from between her legs. So I'd say I'm a pretty good therapist.
Yeah, she yelled at him doing the Jim Carrey, with the talking ass cheeks method.
Oh my god. That's
Yeah.
insane.
No, I think that's perfectly sane.
I'd be scarred for life.
This is why manipulation is good for relationships. Take my client, for example. She's a fucking insane, crazy woman who went home and got naked in front of her children.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I think I should be able to manipulate a little bit in relationships, because I'm a good therapist who gets my clients to get naked in front of children.
And sure, she did get arrested for indecent exposure, but that's neither here nor there.
Sure, she was schizophrenic, and I never told her.
Yeah, that's wild.
Sure, another therapist met her and diagnosed her with 64 different disorders that I didn't notice.
With 64 different personalities. Dang, that's wild.
Yeah, we found the good part of that. This is why we're doing this year in review thing here, where
Yeah.
we go back through. We're going to call these the Working Crass Golden Oldies. These are the old stories that we that we just completely skipped over. But some of these golden oldies have a little golden snippet in
little
them
nugget.
that we didn't know about.
A
I had
little
no idea about this
Easter
lady
egg.
getting
Yeah, a
naked.
little
and
nuglet.
going, stop your bickering.
I was gonna say that.
Damn it, too, Lawrence. Yeah. Sometimes you get a good little nuglet in there. Am I the asshole for prioritizing my parrot over my stepdaughter's wedding? So I'm the owner of a wonderful rescued macaw. She's a wonderful bird, but has a lot of issues due to an abusive former home.
Oh my god, it's just a fucking bird.
I know. She has a lot of issues. When she gets close to any stranger, she goes, I've had her for 3 years, and since then, haven't taken any vacations or trips away as it would be too disruptive for her. She distrusts everyone and is very reliant on her routine. I love her deeply, and I'm happy to make sacrifices for her. They are permanent toddlers and very intelligent birds. I met my husband by the time his kids were older. My stepdaughter was 16 at the time. We married when she moved away for college. Nevertheless, I thought we'd managed to have a decent relationship until now. My stepdaughter is getting married in March, and naturally, there's a lot of preparation involved. They're wanting a huge traditional wedding, and she's stressed out of her mind. They
And
live
she
out of
said,
state.
no parrots.
No birds.
This is a bird-free wedding.
Read my lips. Caw, caw, caw. That's for the birds.
They know what it means.
They know what it means. Tell your birds caw, caw, caw.
Or else.
Or else. They're wanting a huge traditional wedding, and she's stressed out of her mind. They live out of state, and she invited me recently to come visit her for a week to help make wedding plans and spend time with their 2-year-old. I declined, and she insisted to know why, acting very hurt, and I explained the parrot. Well, it all went downhill from there. She caused a massive fuss with her dad, saying she never got a mother figure, and I never accepted her as my full-blood daughter, and this is the ultimate snub for a silly animal, that I'm cold and emotionless. I feel really hurt, and I can tell he agrees with her, even though he's refusing to take sides. But I don't see why I should be expected to take holiday time off work to babysit and bond all of a sudden, and I don't see how I'm a monster for this. Am I the asshole here?
Well, let me ask you this. Can your stepdaughter fly?
No, so she's not cool enough.
Can your stepdaughter repeat after you everything you say? You can't come to my wedding. You can't come to my wedding.
She gets the parrot to say they're the asshole
Yeah.
just to make her feel better.
They're the asshole. You're the asshole. They're the asshole.
Thank you, parrot.
Oh, man. She says, context of our relationship, we don't usually talk at all, and she hasn't visited home in 4 years. Beginning to think it was maybe a mistake posting this, mostly because this is a real and nuanced situation. Reddit is no place for nuance. Maybe personal relationships shouldn't be judged in the asshole context in the first place. So she must have gotten told she was an asshole a lot.
Get over it. You're the one that wanted to post in it.
I called my stepdaughter. I know, exactly. That is true. Good one, Lauren.
Thank you.
Good observation.
Thank you,
there.
hubby.
Oh, my God. That's awkward. That's weird. I don't like this clone bit anymore. I called my stepdaughter and told her that I understand this is a big moment in her life and she wants someone there to help and support her, and that I'm still willing to help her in any way I can to plan the wedding via Zoom and virtually. We talked a bit, and I asked her why she hadn't accepted me reaching out in the past, and she apologized, said she didn't want to accept someone as a stand-in fake replacement for her biological mom, but now she regrets it and would like a closer relationship, especially seeing how close her significant other is with his mom. We ended the conversation positively, and I'm hoping things can improve moving forward. I told her I'm a crazy bird lady and asked her if she still wants a relationship, knowing that, and she said after the wedding she's willing to travel to visit us if we have room, which we do. I'll leave this post up, but I'm happy either way and glad the feedback here motivated me to make the call. Oh, it has a happy ending.
It ended pretty happy.
Top question. Are you literally never going to leave the bird ever again? If so, that is not healthy. No, I'm working up to her eventually being more independent, but it takes a long time to heal trauma with these birds. They have very strong memories, and I've only recently reached a point where she's finally becoming more comfortable.
Yeah, parrots have flesh memories.
Yeah. The bird is like, don't leave, please. I'll kill myself.
Don't leave. Don't leave.
You can't leave.
Door's locked. Door's locked.
I'm depressed. I'm depressed.
Got a gun. Got a gun.
I'm gonna do it.
Don't tempt me.
If you go to the wedding, I'm gonna kill myself.
She opens the door. The bird goes, rape, rape, rape.
That's what my past owners did to me.
Oh my God. PTSD.
PTSD.
Trauma issues. Nice. Well, that's the parrot story. Let's move on to seniors versus children, middle ground. These are fun videos. We're from Jubilee. We won't watch all of it, but we'll watch some of it. Let me get the audio going. Y'all have headphones. Did it start playing that audio already?
So is this
No,
kids
it
rule, old drool, or the opposite?
Kids rule, olds drool, and I think that that's correct. Don't you?
You think that's the right way? Kids rule, olds drool. I don't know.
Lauren, what do you think?
I might be opposite.
Yeah,
I might be olds rule, kids drool.
Kids drool.
Kids
Literally.
drool, olds drool.
Kids
Yeah.
literally drool.
Kids do literally drool. Ugh.
But some old people do too.
That's true, but they're cool.
Let's see
They're cool
if
when they drool.
Yeah.
They got cool drool.
they got cool ass drool. I tell you what.
The cool drool.
Let's see here. If I can get the audio to come out, then we will be solid. Let's give
Are
this a
both
shot.
these kids and old people just going to do a Rodney Dangerfield routine and be like, I get no respect
Hey.
because I'm old. I get no respect because I'm young.
But basically, you think you require money to be rich.
Well, you can also be rich in love. Feel like I'm already rich in happiness because I have I have nice friends, I have a nice family, and I have a pretty nice life. I'm actually pretty spoiled.
Don't tell your mother and father, right?
What a very well versed child. How would you describe that child? Great with their words. What's another?
Precocious, loquacious,
loquacious.
verbose.
More?
Yeah, I don't know words that big. That's as far as they go.
Thought you were a clone.
Well, she's only a one-day-old clone, so
Yeah.
her full vocabulary
Yeah.
hasn't come in yet.
I'm still learning.
You're like, yeah, I was born today. That kid is like, I'm actually pretty happy. I've realized that, I am one with all people, and all people are one with me, and I am in some sense God, and God is within me.
And we're,
what
really
the hell?
just we're really just souls living inside a physical body. But if we get to the fifth plane of seeing, we can escape those physical entrapments and be as one.
The kid is like, when I went on my ayahuasca retreat, I learned that the physical plane is just an illusion.
I found nirvana.
All right, cool.
I like that they got some steel pans in the intro song.
Yeah.
Makes it feel tropical.
Yeah.
I am afraid of death. Those who agree, please step forward.
Those who agree, please step forward. I am afraid of death. And all the
I want to
kids.
sit in the middle. I'm in the middle.
I
I feel like
deserve
life is
the
really
middle.
short, and you have so much.
I'm in the middle.
I'm in the middle.
I'm in the middle because the ones on the outside are more likely to die.
A little strange the question that they're gonna. I guess it makes sense because they're asking old people and young people. It is just weird to ask a bunch of kids, "Do you fear death?"
Yeah, like that's kind of a scary question.
Kids
And
are
I'm
like-
sure the old people are going to be like, no, like I'm old at this point. It's going to happen.
Like,
One of the little kids is like, "What's death?"
Yeah. They're like, oh, fuck, we got to explain this.
Death is where you're not alive anymore. No, I'll always be alive.
This kid isn't going far.
Much to achieve in that period, and in that short period you need to show the world your purpose. Yeah, it's like I actually had a closeness experience not that long ago, and that was scary, so I'm gonna say it is even.
I went on the Batman ride and Six Flags, and I would say that's a pretty close to near-death experience.
This is such bullshit.
I know. I had a near-death experience once. I was on the water rapids, and I got splashed in the face, and I almost died. I have a peanut allergy, and my classmate had one peanut.
I have trauma now.
So I guess you could say I have a near-death experience.
It's scarier to actually have it happen.
Well, death is probably gonna be scary for me because I'm a crybaby. I can barely handle heights.
How do you cry if you're dead?
If you wanted me to be on a roller coaster, I
It's gonna suck dying. I'm gonna cry so hard. I'm like, oh, I'm dead.
will be crying even before it started.
Yeah, but like the thing is that if you don't take risks, how will your life journey be rewarding? Like if you guys
All right, who
are-
coached him on saying that? No
Yeah.
kid. No kid is like, but if you don't take risks, how do you know life journey? It's like, what the hell?
It,
We talk about life
feels
journey.
Like, it feels like that kid's switching sides.
I know, he
He's
really
kinda
is.
like, actually, you know what? I don't fear death.
Here is the thing. I don't fear death. Yeah, I don't know. This is very, very interesting to have these kids talk about death.
Yeah.
Let's see.
afraid of heights? What if you try to overcome it? And what if that makes your life more memorable?
I tried to, but I kind of did enjoy it, but at the same time, it felt like I'm about to die.
Now, can I have the disagreeer step forward?
The disagreeers.
A step forward.
Hello. Now let me tell you, kids, I'm so close to death I can taste it.
Death is part of living. It happens to everybody, to some people sooner than others. But the important thing is to try and live your life how you think you want to live it.
I don't know how I
It's not an easy thing.
Now that's the most relatable part of this.
She's like, shit, I don't have anything figured out yet.
How
Oh my
the fuck
god.
am I supposed to do that?
Oh my god. I don't even know what I want for dinner tonight. Oh shit.
I don't know how I'm gonna do that.
Oh my god.
That's
When
great.
you lose someone you love, you learn to live without them. And hopefully you gain something from your relationship with those people.
I agree with you. It just, and I,
I agree with you, but listen, I think I know a little bit more about death than you, lady.
My hamster died when I was 6. I really learned a lot from that.
She's like, I lost my fucking husband.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not the
She's like,
same.
but dearie, everyone I know is dead.
Some of
I'm the last one alive.
some of my best friends are dead.
There's nothing to fear. Well, you know, I agree with you, but
I honestly thought that I was ready for death until if I'm like bleeding, I'm already like scared and crying, and I'm already thinking that I'm dying.
I thought I was ready for death.
I fell off my bike and I got a scrape and I was like, well, that's it. This is the end. I made my peace.
But death is just a part of life. I equate death sometimes with a tree. What is happening to the trees now with their leaves?
They're falling.
They're falling, that's right. They're getting ready for new leaves to come in the springtime. And it's just
In the
a natural part of life.
springtime.
Okay.
Now that I'm getting to my twilight years, I am wondering what is going to happen after I pass away.
This man has seen some shit.
Yeah, he looks traumatized.
Yeah, I know. He should be in the agree side of I fear death.
Yeah.
He's like, as I've gotten older, I've learned I'm terrified of what's to come. These kids look scared of him.
A spirit from the world's past came to me and showed my life after death, and it's not pretty, children.
Let me tell you kids something. You can live your life in many ways. For me, I live my life with a rubber hose wrapped around my arm and a syringe needle deep inside of it, with pure happiness and good luck.
He's like, y'all ever
Injected.
heard of the Vietnam War?
I live my life with my best friend, a little white powder that comes in a little baggie. I lay him out in a line and I snort up his happiness.
And when it wasn't that, it was the murdering and the robbing.
And the raping.
I did it all,
I
children.
Did it all. And I ain't afraid of no death. And you shouldn't be either. Now, who wants to smoke this shit?
And that is the thing that I think about more than anything else. I'm not a believer of God, and I always just wonder what is the purpose of being born and what is going to be the hereafter. That is something, of course, no one will be able to give you an answer on
And
that.
I asked myself these questions when I was on a hillside in Cambodia after I napalmed an entire village.
I'm no believer in a God unless you call God operating a drone as you destroy a whole innocent family's wedding in a foreign country. Then I guess you could say I am God.
I do believe in reincarnation. I feel that I'm coming back to Earth as maybe a newborn or maybe as an animal or something.
Do I fear death? I am death.
And I will come back in this world as death.
Like that.
In our religion, we have something called karma. So it's your good deeds come back to you, and your bad deeds in the afterlife come back to affect you. And that's why I feel like...
What do you think his religion is? Is he Jewish or?
The little boy?
Yeah.
No, he's probably Hindu.
That was the joke. He literally goes, in my religion, we learn about karma. And I'm like, is he Jewish? You go, no, he might be Hindu.
I'm sorry, my autistic mind took over.
I know. Sometimes I make a clear joke and she goes, but that doesn't make sense because logically that wouldn't happen.
All right, setting autism on the dimmer switch.
That's why we built your clone without autism.
Period you have from like being a child, growing up, just progressing through life. It's so important, but still like that thought lingers in the back of my mind. Is there something that will come to affect me?
Well,
this is going to be the kid that speaks at the elementary school graduation that gets to speak at the end, and everyone's like, "Get on with it, let's go."
He thinks he's the smartest person in the world.
He's gonna do, and our life is like a tree, and when the leaves fall off the tree, it makes room for new leaves in the spring.
He goes, I had a life-changing experience when I was a part of Jubilee, the Jubilee video for the YouTube channel Jubilee.
My son-in-law's father died, and I flew back to Oklahoma City for his funeral, and I did not see one wet eye in that funeral service.
Basically, everybody hated the man who died.
Nobody gave a shit.
I showed up and everyone there hated that bastard.
I showed up and everybody there was butt-ass naked.
I showed up and he was there on the table. He'd taken all his clothes off. He was bent over and yelling at me between his legs. telling me to stop the riffraff.
I couldn't believe it.
It was laughing, joking around, because that's the way that Paw lived. And I left there thinking, I don't want people crying over me. I want them to be happy for me and happy for themselves.
If you go to see, let's say, a gravestone, and there's a dash between 1900 and 1970.
I
the
etched
most
it.
important thing that
I was a grave carver. I etched it. If you see the little dash in there, that's my work. Those are my hands that did that. You're welcome.
If you go to a graveyard, you might see me. I'll be walking around with a shovel. Collecting items off the bodies that are buried in the ground so I can go to the pawn shop. If you ever go to a pawn shop, you might see me in there selling the items that I dug up from the cemetery.
And if you go to the rest stop on Highway 66, you might see me there in the back room jerking off.
If you go to the rest stop on Highway 66 and you go in the bathroom, you'll see a little hole in the wall. If you look in that hole, you'll see me. Well, not quite all of me. You'll see my penis.
that dash.
What happened during that dash?
The time that you lived and what you were able to accomplish, and what kind of a legacy did you leave to your family and your heirs is very, very important to me.
I have been in love.
I have been in love. Okay, we're going to stop there because we have to move on to
I think that's enough. We've seen enough.
Other missed stories, but that was pretty fun, actually. That one was pretty wild. Yeah. I don't know why we skipped that one previously.
I don't know.
Anyway, coming up next, we got parents accuse teacher of shoving their 15-year-old child for not reciting the Pledge of Allegiance in school. An honor roll student at River Bluff High School in South Carolina was roughed up and her constitutional rights violated, the family's lawsuit claims. Look at how hurt they look. South Carolina high school teacher allegedly roughed up an honor roll student. Actually, I feel like we read this one, Lauren.
Yeah, we did. Does this? Did the teacher turn out to be a furry?
No, no, I don't believe so. Is there a video of it happening? I just like the idea of the teacher going, you say that Pledge of Allegiance, shoving a kid. But it's bad. It's bad. I guess I should say it's bad. Don't shove kids.
Yeah.
Especially from just looking at this article, I feel like it's going to take a racist route.
Yeah.
It's going to be a white teacher shoving a black student, and then this is...
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting. Special education teacher.
Now it's getting more interesting. Oh.
Sped student.
So Marissa Barnwell, who's 15, was walking in the hallway on her way to class at River Bluff High School on November 29th when the pledge was being recited on the campus's intercom system, according to the family's federal lawsuit. While some students stopped to observe the patriotic ceremony, Barnwell elected to continue walking to her class and refrain from reciting the pledge. As she walked by silently and in a non-disruptive manner to her class, special education teacher Nicole Livingston violated the 9th grader's constitutional rights by yelling and demanding that she stop walking and physically assaulting her by pushing her on the wall and forcefully touching her in an unwanted way without her consent. The federal complaint said. Barnwell said she wasn't the only student walking in the hallway who didn't stop for the pledge. The student said she didn't recognize the teacher who was saying stop and assumed Livingston was talking to someone else. She grabs me by my shoulders and starts to push me up against the wall, and she snaps my ID, and she's like going to report me to the office, the student told reporters on Thursday. She's like, I had a near-death experience.
This sounds like a bully, like just shoving somebody and holding them on the lockers.
Snapping
like,
their ID.
You better sing the song.
Yeah, you better say, I pledge allegiance to the flag. And I'm just confused. I'm like, get your hands off me. Get your hands off me. You can hear me say that in the video of the confrontation. I was just in disbelief. I had never expected something like that to happen to me while being at school. Wow. They saw the video. Livingston was still listed on the school's faculty roster on Friday. They saw the video. They saw this lady attack my child, and still there's not been anything that we are aware of that's been done to this teacher. While state law requires pledge to be recited every day at school, the code also states that no one should be penalized for failing to participate.
I mean,
Video or it didn't happen?
I just think, teacher's probably a furry.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah, definitely.
You say the pledge of the doggies.
Pushes her up against the lockers.
Oh my God. He pushed me against the lockers and then she scritched me.
She yiffed and she scritched and she burned the house down.
Oh my God. Yeah. Imagine being in a special needs class and your teacher is a furry.
They would love it.
It's probably pretty cool.
My teacher's a wolf.
Yeah.
I wish I could do that voice.
I wish I wouldn't. I probably shouldn't do that. But I taught enough special needs classes that I feel like I've earned the right.
Well, moving on.
Well, moving on. My teacher is also a cat. Someday she's a wolf. Anyway, let's see here. Help, my boyfriend is transphobic.
Uh-oh.
Help, my boyfriend became a transphobic culture warrior before my eyes. I can't help mourning the man I thought he was.
Oh my God.
He's the man I thought he was is dead now. Dear Prudence, stolen from great band.
Yeah. Dear Prudence.
How do you grieve the person you thought someone was? I'll read this like they thought that it would be read.
That feels like it was written by a transphobic person.
How do you grieve? Oh. Yeah, this should be written by... Okay, anyway. Yeah.
Anyway,
No, totally.
Not to get off topic.
How do you grieve the person you thought someone was? I'm a bi woman, and I dated Theo, a straight man, for the past 4 years. When we got together, I thought he was smart, kind, gorgeous, and a good ally.
Okay.
This is too
Why
much.
does it have to be
This
that?
is too much.
I thought he was smart, kind, gorgeous, and a great activist. That's so stupid.
His picket signs were just colored so well.
Imagine how fucking boring.
His lettering just really spoke to me.
Imagine how fucking boring your relationship is if one of the top things you love about someone is they're a good ally to the community.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, they must be really interesting. He was generally a good partner to me, and we'd been moving towards marriage. Around June, he seemed to really start talking about gross TERF and anti-trans rhetoric, and it was clear he'd been following it and believing it for a while. No amount of real data seemed to change his mind, and I was very upset. I realized that 1, I don't want to be with someone who buys into that, and 2, more selfishly, transphobia is a tip of the iceberg issue to push against queer rights generally. And I'm queer. Okay, first of all, notice how they don't say what he said at all.
Yeah.
That every one of these articles that's like this, they're like, my boyfriend is starting to spout transphobic rhetoric. Say exactly
what the fuck did he say?
Exactly. Like, say exactly what he said. Because for the most part, it's probably not as bad. It's probably just
pretty innocuous.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. It's like J.K. Rowling. What she said was like entirely innocuous. It's like
Innocuous and just a difference of opinion.
exactly, yeah. It's like she's the actual devil.
Yeah, and you could probably have more people on your side if you said what he said, whereas if you're just kind of broad like that, it makes
Yeah.
most people like, well then, what did he even fucking do?
Exactly. Yeah, you could have more people on. You're right. You're right. By being honest about what was said.
Yeah.
And then at least you're making a decent argument.
Yeah.
They said, I broke up with him in August, and though he wanted to stay close, I asked for a clean break. But we live in a small city, and I've heard that he's been heading even more towards some incel/transphobe/culture war stuff.
Like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, exactly. What is the stuff? And because I see those words, incel, transphobe, culture war, like all thrown at stuff that's pretty reasonable sometimes. Like people say something completely reasonable and they go, oh, okay, incel.
Yes, it's a way to smear somebody you disagree with.
Right, exactly.
It's like he went to Chick-fil-A and she's pissed because they don't like support gays or something.
Yeah.
He went to Chick-fil-A.
You're an incel.
Right. It's just a way to discredit somebody.
Well, it's when somebody's like, yeah, my friend actually, she developed a bunch of heart problems after she got the COVID vaccine. It's really sad. You go, okay, incel.
Yeah, so that way that it's supposed to invalidate your opinion.
Correct.
So now nobody listen to him and what they have to say.
Yeah, if you're an incel, if you're just somebody who doesn't have sex a lot, that actually makes you, you can't have an opinion.
Yeah.
You're invalidated.
You're not allowed.
Now. Yeah.
You're not allowed. You're not
Transphobe.
allowed to have a different opinion than me.
Yep, exactly.
According to this person.
All right, so the response from Prudence here is, Dear Missing Him.
I'm sure this will be very rational and nuanced.
We'll see. This is Slate. Congratulations on not here. I'll do whatever I assume that this person is. Oh, well, congratulations on not ending up married to him. That's something to celebrate. But seriously, fill the gap he left in your life with other people who are actually good, kind people. What did he say that makes him not a good, kind person, too? Now, not only is he these things that she said that he is, now he's also not good or kind.
Yeah.
And we don't even know what he said.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Romantic and non-romantic partners alike. I promise there are so many of them, and the more you surround yourself with, the less you'll mourn what you lost. The more people that you surround yourself with who just agree with everything that you say, the better off you are.
Yeah. This person probably also thinks that manipulation is good for relationships.
Yeah.
I promise there are so many of them, and the more you surround yourself with, the less you'll mourn what you lost. If your new friends and dates are also queer, I guarantee they'll have similar stories about people who have disappointed them. But keep in mind, 4 years is a long time to date, and that breakup would take some time to recover from no matter what the circumstances. So be patient with yourself. If you find yourself missing him, let it happen. Give yourself a few minutes, and don't try to force the thoughts away. It's hard enough to miss him. Don't beat yourself up for missing him too. This is just a post-breakup phase, and you'll have to move through. And the less you fight it, the faster it will pass. Then you will wake up one day and realize he hasn't crossed your mind in a long time.
That's just common fucking sense.
Yeah, that part is...
That's every relationship.
Exactly. That part is okay advice, I guess, for somebody going through a breakup if they're mourning the loss of that person in their life.
Yeah, well, this was the part where the editor was like, hey...
can you actually give some fucking advice?
Put something in
Yeah.
Can you actually fucking write something?
It can't all be propaganda. We have to
we have to hide a little bit of it.
yeah, you know.
Meanwhile, something that could be healing in the short term might be making a little donation in his name, if only in your mind, to a trans advocacy nonprofit. Anyway, interesting. I'm glad we skipped that one originally.
Yeah, me too.
It just made me mad. Let's see here. Did we ever talk about the medieval flatulist?
No, and what was this in reference to?
A flatulist, fartist, or professional farter, or simply farter, is an entertainer often associated with flatulence-related humor, whose routine consists solely or primarily of passing gas in a creative, musical, or amusing manner. So these were these medieval performers that...
The picture, he's like, wait for it.
Wait for it.
It's about to start.
Apparently there was a bunch of like old performers that are professional flatulists.
I feel like maybe we did talk about this.
I don't think we brought
showed
it
a
up on-
video.
Did we watch a video?
We performed it live.
we were flatulists.
We've been practicing this art for many years.
So do they just like eat a bunch of beans before their performance, or like how do they?
It's like
you
us,
should look
it's
up
like
how
us
they
taking
prepare.
Oh yeah, you're probably right.
How do they prepare for something like
Roland Le Farter, a medieval
Roland
flatulist.
Le Farter.
Let's see if I can find like a video of.
This is real?
Yeah.
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 Wow.
This is a real thing.
It's okay. It's only your first day as a clone.
Yeah, that's true. I should have known this.
We're educating you about the world.
Let's see here.
And this is a really important part of it.
Mr. Methane on Britain's Got Talent.
Very important.
I think we showed
I
this.
think we actually did
We
watch
played
this specifically,
We played
didn't we?
this video. Man, we have go-tos.
I'm
Yeah.
scared.
This is our Golden Oldies episode. I don't know if we can show all this.
And you are Mr. Methane. I am a performing flatulist.
I think we just watched this. I don't think we did it on the podcast.
No, I think
Just do it.
we
Okay, certainly.
we
Simon,
watched
just
it.
do
and then
it. Do it.
We watched it and then we reenacted.
First of all, I just
we
have
did?
to adopt
Yeah,
the-
definitely.
No, Lauren, we definitely did not reenact
That's
this.
when I said to you, "Hey, I think the podcast should be audio only."
That's when you said, "Hey, Josh, I think I have one in the chamber.
Yeah.
Let's give this a shot."
I said, "Can you mic it up?"
Yeah, I
Oh
do
my
remember
God.
doing that.
Yeah, I farted.
position.
What
Okay.
the hell?
You pick.
Simon Cowell.
That's a good one. Music maestro. Thank you.
It sounds fake, too. Does it not?
Yeah, it does.
It sounds like somebody backstage going,
Yeah, how do you even do that?
yeah. That's too much butthole control. I don't believe it. Lauren, do you have that much butthole control?
Definitely.
Yeah, I definitely do.
Definitely.
Definitely.
Yeah, I don't know.
This butthole does everything I tell it to do.
It's like my mind is a remote controller for my ass, just farting.
Mine too.
Oh my
Mine
god.
too.
Hey there, Crass Wipes. I just want to take a quick moment to tell you about the best way to support Lauren and I and all of Working Crass Podcast, and that is patreon.com/workingcrasspod. We are making some super funny bonus episodes every single week, putting them out there on Patreon. If you want to check them out, go ahead there, patreon.com/workingcrasspod. We would really appreciate the support. It would really, really help us out because we're broke. We don't have any money. If you're not convinced yet, here's a quick clip of one of our latest episodes. We should advertise ourselves as the loudest podcast. And you're going to have to do some work on that, okay?
I think we
because
should-
you're a quiet person.
I-
I go loud.
I will not do that.
You bitch.
I think we should advertise ourselves as the quietest podcast.
I
Almost
think
like ASMR style.
I think we should advertise ourselves as the quietest podcast.
And I really think. I have another really
and here's
great
another thing.
suggestion.
Oh, and my lips, they burn and they hurt. So if you like what you see, go head over to patreon.com/workingcrasspod. We got a lot more of it over there. All right, back to the episode. Well, we're a few items into the list here. We're going to keep on going with more items. Let's see. I'm a millennial who's quitting my job because I'm overworked and
I
underpaid.
feel like we might have done this one.
Really?
Maybe. I don't know. I feel like we do them all, and then we don't.
What?
It made sense to me.
She gets it.
I know.
My clone gets it. No,
Um,
every time you click on one, I've felt like we've done it in a past episode,
I think we just
and then
have
realize
looked
no,
at
we
it.
haven't done it.
Yeah, we haven't done it because we look at it and then we go, no, we're not going to do an episode over this. But
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I've had 6 episodes of deja vu.
Yes, the
Not like-
deja vu. Yes.
it's the Working Crass Golden Oldies with 2 Laurens.
Woo. Oppa.
Oppa.
A millennial working as a meat cutter told Insider he's underpaid and had no room for career growth. He's thinking of leaving the workforce, at least temporarily, to pick up new skills. Young men without college degrees have been fleeing the workforce. I mean, this is just
What is the highest level of meat cutter? Like, what's the top of the meat cutters industry?
the
Like, what's the top of the ladder for that?
the reptilian meat cutter. It goes working meat cutter, middle meat cutter, upper meat cutter, elite meat cutter, and
Reptilian meat-
reptilian meat cutter.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know where I got that from.
I don't know either. together.
He says, I'm about to put in my 2 weeks. Here, I'm about to put in my 2 weeks notice.
I'm fed up.
I'm fed the fuck up. I've been a meat cutter. Am I gonna do
Yes.
redneck?
Yes.
Yeah. I've been a meat cutter at a grocery store since 2017. I felt good about it when I entered the field, learning as I went at a small chain in San Francisco. Okay, this is San
The
Francisco.
cleaver felt good in my hand.
I got to change his voice. This is San Francisco. I'm sorry. At a time when other people my age were swimming in student debt, I was picking up a skill that was in demand and that I could take with me almost anywhere. 5 years later, though, I'm on the verge of leaving the industry. When I became a meat cutter, I thought there'd be more room for growth, that I might one day manage a department or be a director of cutting meat. But the longer I remain in the industry, the less common it seems for those around me to earn that kind of advancement. This is just every job.
Is this like meat cutting like at Jersey Mike's, or is this like
That's sandwich artistry.
because I'm like, or is this like
He said at a grocery
animals,
store.
like
So do you ever go to like the deli section at the grocery store and they'll slice
Or
meat?
just
for
Yeah,
you?
so that's like Jersey
the
Mike's.
butcher.
Yeah, it's just like Jersey Mike's. Yeah.
I was wondering, is it like the butcher that's like, or like
I
a
thi- I
sandwich
think this
shop
is-
type meat cutting?
But this
Well,
is
it
just
could
a
be that.
dumb.
It could. I don't know.
This is
'Cause-
dumb anyway because it's like I work at a grocery store and I'm just starting to think that there's not really much future in this.
Yeah, no shit.
Exactly. You're
Anybody can cut meat.
Exactly. Exactly. Yes, there's not really much future in that. You're not building on a future for yourself.
Yeah.
This is a big problem with like
Yeah, that
and-
lady with the pet parrot. She's training her pet parrot to cut meat.
I mean, Josh's father will cut turkey for Thanksgiving. It's not that fucking hard. So
For a second I was like, why don't you just say dad? And I'm like, oh, because you're
Who?
boring.
Because
I mean,
This
I
is
guess
so
it's my
confusing.
father-in-law.
But this is dumb. When I became a meat cutter, I thought there'd be more room for growth.
Exactly.
Why?
I thought
Why
I
did
would-
you think that?
because I thought I would go from a snipper to a cutter to a hacker to a whacker, all the way up the ladder, baby.
Start cutting meat at Texas de Brazil.
So make it to the big times.
Yeah, you got it right when you said anybody can cut fucking meat. It's not like that hard. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, but not anybody could cut it in the way that this guy cuts it.
Yeah, this is pretty dumb. It's pretty wild. Let's see here.
Yeah.
My partner makes significantly more money than I do, and it's great that she does, but I often feel like I'm not pulling my own weight. I take home about $3,200 a month.
Yeah, my partner's also an engineer.
What the fuck? $3,200 a month? Cutting meat? Are you kidding me?
Damn, I'm gonna start cutting meat.
I know, shit. Hey, maybe there is a future in cutting meat. If there was a time when I could be doing this job and raise a family off of it, that time ended a long, long time ago. If they want people to even do these types of jobs, they need to pay more. If the two of us, it's like, do they need to pay more for the meat cutter?
No,
Or
that's
do you
like
think
a
they could
side job.
Exactly. That's something that they can find easily. This is and that's why they put millennial in the title of this, because this is a little bit of a millennial kind of thing, but it's like I'm doing the minimum amount of work and I'm expecting to have the same result as everybody else who's done the greatest of things. Like it's dumb. It's dumb to look at the world as this person has something that I want and I deserve that too.
Yeah, I'm just
Like automatically.
I'm just
I
a-
don't need to do anything. I don't need to do whatever they did to achieve it. I just deserve to have whatever they got.
I cut 10 pounds of mesquite smoked turkey every day. I deserve more.
Where's my mansion?
well, I just picture
Where's my Bentley?
Well, I just picture him complaining about his partner making more than him, and she's like an engineer or a doctor.
She's a surgeon.
A
I cut into
lawyer.
bodies and save people's lives. You're cutting
Exactly.
a fucking turkey.
Exactly.
You're cutting a glazed ham.
Yeah. What the fuck do you expect?
I know that you saved a life today at work, but I cut 3 pounds of boar's head.
He's like, this is an important industry. Like, industry? What?
My roast beef saves millions of people every day.
You don't understand. It's not just meat. Sometimes I cut the cheese.
That was
Okay, Mr. Methane.
No, like the provolone, the Munster, they have me actually use the meat cutter to cut. I'm talking about the cheese.
It's not as easy as cutting the meat.
It's difficult. You have to move it in a different way. You thought I was talking about farting? Oh, yeah, sure. I fart there too.
That's his other skill that he picked up was to be a flatulist.
Catch me on Britain's Got Talent.
I nailed the audition.
Now I'm making less than I did cutting meat. I thought I'd be making more. I'm a professional farter. If they want,
This is supposed to be my golden ticket to stardom.
if they want people to even do these types of jobs like farting, they need to pay more. Why don't people pay us more to fart all the time? It's an essential job. If the two of us are both working, my partner is making twice as much as me, and we still can't afford all the things we need. There's something really wrong. There's something really broken here. But what is their job? There might not be anything broken here. This might make absolute sense.
I know, that's what I think.
At the co-op chain I've been working at for the past year, meat cutters don't get reliable schedules. I typically work about 40 hours a week, but the minimal notice and consistency make it hard to have any kind of life outside work, even for basic things like trying to make a doctor appointment. That's in addition to constantly being floated from store to store to plug in staffing gaps.
I have no time for that, nor my farting practices.
I don't have fucking time for anything.
You could move further up at like McDonald's.
I know.
Like he's acting like he's stuck in the meat cutting world.
Or why not
There's
just
nothing I can do.
Or why not just open like a butcher shop for yourself?
Yeah.
I don't have time to do that. I work a whole 4 hours a day. When the fuck else am I supposed to do other work? And yeah, my wife works 12 hours a day. But why does she make more money? That's not fair. I work 4, she works 12.
I've been in this industry too long.
He's been in it a week. He's been doing this a week. He's already sick of it.
I just want to be the master cutter. Gosh. Anyway, I don't get it. She works 12 hours. I work 4 hours. Do the math. That equals same pay. Oh, man. Well, let's go ahead and we're going to keep doing this for a while here because we're going to record 2 episodes.
God.
Yes.
Oh my God.
But that being said, we're about to wrap this up on the main episode. If you're watching the main episode here on our YouTube channel, thanks for watching week after week. We do appreciate it. We are going to read one more story here, and then we're going to keep going into these stories over on Patreon. So if you're not already a Patreon subscriber, definitely head on over to patreon.com/workingcrasspod so you can get the full golden oldies, the Working Crass golden oldies.
Hell yeah. In that Patreon, we are getting up on this table. We are stripping down into our underwear, and we are farting to a song of our choosing.
And we will do the episode screaming between our legs.
And farting.
And farting. And cutting meat.
Hey, and shout out to the #1 Patreon listener, my sister-in-law, Emma.
Yeah, that is the #1 Patreon
Emma
listener.
Is the best Patreon listener.
That
and
is
nobody
true.
will beat her as the best Patreon listener.
That is true. That is
so
true.
She's so cool, isn't she?
She is very cool.
Yeah.
That is very.
She's so cool. I wish she was here.
I know. We'd have a better episode. That's for
Probably.
sure.
Probably.
Wait, what?
All right. For those of you on the YouTube here, here's our last story here. America is in its insecure attachment era. Discomfort with intimacy seems to be on the rise, and no one's quite sure why. About a decade ago, the social psychologist Sarah Conrath led a study that yielded some disturbing results. As a researcher at Indiana University, she'd already found that narcissism rates seemed to be increasing amongst Americans and empathy decreasing. That was a combination that didn't bode well, she feared, for the quality of people's relationships. So she decided to look more deeply into the state of Americans' connections, and in order to do so, she turned to attachment theory. Jesus, this is boring as shit.
That's probably why we didn't do it.
Oh my
shit. And now you have to pay to read
now
the
you have
rest
to
of
pay
it.
to read the rest of it. I have to pay to read this bullshit.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Why did we ever put this on the list? You know, some of these golden oldies are rotten. Some of these golden oldies are oldies for a damn reason. They're rotten. They're disgusting. Let's actually go with one that Lauren sent me here that we didn't cover. And that is
Yeah, these are good. I sent them for a reason. So.
Let's go ahead and do this one. New York Post, the worst website to do on the podcast because it freezes constantly and it is formatted terribly. Terribly.
Terribly.
Terribly.
It's terrible.
It's terrible.
Terrible.
We use a 98-year-old vacuum cleaner. It's also a food processor, veggie peeler, drill, and more.
What?
Daggum.
It do everything.
Hey, here's the first sentence. If it ain't broke, don't replace it. An elderly couple has used the same century-old appliance to drill, vacuum, mince meat, process food. Hey, they cut their meat with a vacuum cleaner. Yeah. Why doesn't my vacuum cleaner make a better salary? Oh, is there a video here? It looks like there is. Here, will it play in the main thing here?
No, I don't think that's a video. I think that's one of those like.
No, it says right here we use a 98-year-old vacuum cleaner.
He's just what I thought they'd look like.
Santa Claus?
Yeah.
It's Santa. Okay, but it won't let me play. Again, this website is always the worst. It literally freezes up.
See, I thought this was just going to be an ad, one of those fake outs.
Let's go.
It's like the video is not really part of the article. It's just an ad that they put on there.
That tends to happen a lot on this website here. Okay.
Oh, he is Santa.
He legitimately is Santa. All right, let's take a look.
Yeah, that vacuum cleaner also powers the sleigh.
It's the engine.
Sorry, I'm going to put my headphones on here. All right, here we go. Here is the video. Okay, it's a vacuum cleaner.
Her husband imported them, I think, back in the 1950s. But we're probably talking the machine's about 80 years old altogether. So we've got a base motor, and everything runs off the motor.
The motor.
He's a Brit.
I know that was really unexpected.
Yeah.
A food mixer, a mincer, a coffee grinder, vacuum cleaner, a spray gun that goes onto the vacuum cleaner, and a toolkit. We used to have a liquidizer, but one of us dropped the glass dome and we couldn't get another one.
You know what? I like it a little more when I said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. We're going to pretend that Santa Claus is a redneck. Yeah. Because he's basically a British redneck, it kind of seems, in this situation. He is kind of like, well, we use an old vacuum cleaner for everything. But we broke it because we dropped it on the damn floor. An elderly couple has used the same century-old appliance to drill, vacuum, mince meat, process food, peel vegetables, and grind coffee since their wedding day in 1976, and it has yet to give out. Mary and Ivor Waite from West Midlands, England, swear by their 98-year-old Piccolo, a piece of German-made machinery manufactured between 1925 and 1930 for use in cramped housing, which they received as a present from Ivor's aunt, Ivor. It had been in storage for God knows how long in my auntie's cottage before she gave it to us in 1976. I just like the redneck voice a little more.
Yeah, me too.
1976.
I walked in there, smelled like shit.
Smelled like shit. Oh, there, my auntie's cottage. Because you know how often us rednecks go to cottages. Here he is, old Santa Claus.
Oh, he looks so happy.
He goes, It's basically it'll peel vegetables, it'll mince meat, it'll vacuum, and it'll also take you around the world on Christmas Eve so you can deliver the presents to all the good children.
And it'll tell you who's naughty and who's nice. You just have to put in this gizmo right here on the front of it. And then this one, if you put it on the back, it spits out the lumps of coal that I put in the stockings for the bad children's.
It's pretty amazing that you can use it as a mincer, liquidizer, food mixer, juicer, and slicer, even to polish the floors with it.
And a reindeer milker.
It makes toys, too. It's a one of a kind, and we wouldn't be without it. Damn. It's like the household equivalent of a Swiss Army knife. Damn, look at them. With modern vacuums, they're virtually unrepairable nowadays. Calling Dysons a pair to repair. I think it means a pain to repair. It lasted because it's German engineering. It's well built and heavy. I love that German engineering. We got a German shower upstairs. I've lost a few spare parts, but I'm quite handy, so I've managed to keep the piccolo going all these years. He said, adding that their two kids fight over who will receive the gadget when they pass. But
bullshit.
Ain't none of them gonna get it, though, because they ungrateful little shits. They on the goddamn naughty list every damn year. Me and Mrs. Claus say, hell no. That vacuum's going with us to our grave. I ain't afraid of death.
I'm going to be buried with my vacuum. Slash juicer / coffee grinder.
He really is Santa Claus. I mean, that's Santa with a...
I mean, he's wearing the outfit. He's got the outfit.
That's just his at-home clothes. That's not even his Santa outfit.
He's like, I'm going to dress up for this picture.
Nothing in the article. Yeah, I know.
This is like a photo shoot. Photo shoot.
Mr. Claus, who lives in the North Pole, has an 88-year-old vacuum cleaner. Sorry, 98 years old. He goes, and here's why it never breaks. It's magic.
It's powered with elf tears, which is glitter.
It's powered by Germans. All right, folks. Well, this is going to wrap up our main episode here. But before we go, as we always do, we do have to say what we learned. And so at the exact same time, I'd like to hear from Lauren and her clone what they learned today. If you could say it at the exact same time here.
I learned that my clone... Sorry. We do this
all the time.
Is awesome.
Wow, very nice. I learned to never clone your wife. And folks, excuse me? Boo. No, I learned that that the meat cutting industry is a well-known and a well-oiled industry that you can make a lot of money in, and everyone should get out there and learn how to cut meat because it's a skill that will last you a lifetime.
Until a vacuum can replace you in the workplace.
Well, folks, happy 2024. Thanks for watching, and go join us on Patreon for the second half of this episode. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. Oppa.
Oppa.